Hey, what's up? Brent here. I'm the jazz musician behind LearnJazzStandards.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to set goals for your jazz playing and get results. Now, at the end of the day, we all want to become better jazz musicians, me included. I'm always seeking to become a better musician, and that's why I spend time in the practice room. That's why I'm out here in New York City playing gigs and trying to get my chops together. And I'm sure you're in the same boat too. But at the end of the day, I've found that if we don't set tangible goals and create a plan for our jazz improvement, nothing is going to happen. If we don't step in and say, here's what I'm going to do in order to get from A to Z, then probably nothing's going to happen. And you know, the research shows, lots of research has been done on this, and those that have goals, but not only have goals, but actually write them down, are far more likely to succeed than those that don't. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 steps for setting up game-changing goals that will actually improve your musicianship. So let's go through that together. Number 1, set master goals. Now, what are master goals? Okay, master goals are goals that are overarching, that are really broad. They're kind of like your sky-high dream goals. You know, they don't even have to be completely realistic, right? They can be something that you truly, from the depth of your heart, really want for your musicianship or for your jazz playing. So this could be something like, you know, I want to go on tour, and maybe that doesn't feel like that's reachable for you, or I want to create an album, or I want to have, you know, I want to play like lightning fast bebop language like Charlie Parker, or something that for you feels untouchable, but it's something that you really want. And oftentimes you can figure out what these are by simply, you know, writing down on a piece of paper, what are those things that just come right off the head, right off the top of their head that you want. And maybe those are sometimes things that you don't feel are achievable. You feel like they're out of reach, but it's important that you write those down and establish what those are. And I find that it's helpful if you kind of figure out 2 or 3 different master goals that you want to shoot for, 2 or 3 that work for you. I'm going to go over some examples of that in just a second. Now, number 2 is set long-term goals. Now, your long-term goals, they are going to be referencing your master goals, the ones, the overarching goals I just talked about. So you're going to be breaking down those goals and to find achievable ways to reach those. So long-term goals are over a longer period of time that you're going to build towards something. So it could be quarterly goals. In a year, you know, every single quarter, you want to reach a certain point in your jazz playing or your musicianship. Could even be monthly goals. I would say no shorter than a month. These are long-term goals. And you're going to establish things that will actually help you accomplish those master goals. But you got to think long-term here. You got to think, what kinds of steps do I need to take in order to get to my master goals? Again, I'm going to show you some examples in a second. Number 3 is set short-term goals. Okay, set short-term goals. Now, these short-term goals are going to be informed by your long-term goals. So let's just say one of our long-term goals was a month. Okay, so I wanted to accomplish this in a month. How are we going to accomplish that, right? Well, now we have to break it down even further to weekly accomplishments, right? Weekly accomplishments of, you know, at the end of the week, I'm going to have learned 32 bars of a solo, something like this, because at the end, you want to have learned X amount of solos. And your master goal could be, I want to develop amazing jazz bebop language, right? So you have to break that down even further so that you can accomplish those long-term goals. Now, number 4 is set micro goals. Okay, set micro goals. Now, micro goals are going to be informed by your short-term goals, right? They're really mostly going to be these daily achievements that you want to make to get to your short-term goal. And your short-term goal gets to your long-term goal. Your long-term goal gets to your master goals, right? So we're breaking it down even further. And oftentimes this is daily. So a daily task that you're going to take in order to get to X, Y, and Z, right? So let's just say I wanted to learn at the end of the week 12 bars of a solo. Well, then you have to break that down into daily tasks, so 2 bars a day or 4 bars a day, in order to get to that short-term goal, that weekly goal. And then, of course, that reflects upon your long-term goal and your master goal. So those are the 4 goals. The 4 goals, again, are master goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, and micro goals. All right, so take a look at this chart really quick. This is going to help us shape and take a look and organize our goals together. So for this particular chart, I've listed 3 master goals. Now you have to do 3. You could do maybe just 2 if you feel a little uncomfortable with doing that many. But for this instance, I've done 3. So starting in that first box, let's look at master goal number 1. It's very broad, that sky-high goal that you're looking for, the one big thing that you want to accomplish. Underneath that, you got your long-term goal. It's the same category as your master goal, right? It's going to be informed by that master goal, but now you're breaking it down into an actual time period of accomplishment. Now your short-term goal is going to help you achieve your long-term goal. So we're breaking it down even further. And then finally at the end is your micro goal. And that's a small task to help achieve the short-term goal. All right, now this next chart is going to help us fill out these goals, take an actual look. So for this, I've given out 3 examples of master goals that you could possibly have. They're not necessarily mine, but they could be someone else's, but these are just for example. So let's look at this. Master goal number 1, I want to have no technical limitations on my instrument, okay? So I don't want to feel bogged down by anything. I want to be able to play anything I want in my improvisation. I want to be able to explore my instrument with confidence, okay? Now the second master goal is I want to come out with an album. Maybe that feels unattainable. Like I just really don't think, and I don't think I'm confident in my musicianship to do that. Now number 3, the master goal, I want to be able to play incredible jazz language, right? You want to sound like your jazz heroes. So for example, let's hone in specifically on master goal number 2. I want to come out with an album. All right, so how are we going to do that? Let's look down to our long-term goal. I want to compose 8 new original pieces. Okay, 8 new original pieces, because that's going to help you get to your goal of creating that album. So what are you going to do? All right, you're going to break that down, 8 pieces. Let's say you want to accomplish that all in a year, right? 8 new pieces. So now you got to figure out how long and how many you have to do in a month. Okay, to figure that out, to get to that end goal. So that's where we break it down to our short-term goals, which is write 1 new composition this month. So essentially every single month we're writing a new composition, and maybe for the leftover months you're practicing those and you're refining those and making sure those are really tight and put together. So now we got a short-term goal. We're going to write 1 new composition every single month. So now to break that down even further, we have our micro goal. So how are we going to get to that? We're going to spend 1 to 2 hours a week working on ideas. Now these are a little bit more long-term periods because we have to cater to this specific goal. So it could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly. You got to figure it out for yourself. But the point is we have a plan here. We are set to figure out how we're going to record this album in good due time, right? It seems unachievable, but we're going to get there by taking the first steps. Now, I guarantee if you do this, you're not going to be wandering aimlessly in the practice room. You're not going to be sure what you should practice or what you should not practice. You're going to have set goals. And you're going to have actual steps to achieve those goals. So I encourage you to do that. So now here's the question I want you to answer. The question I want you to answer is, what are your goals for your jazz playing and how are you going to accomplish them, okay? Answer that question in the comments below. Love to hear that. Love everybody to see each other's ideas and what their goals and aspirations are. Now, if you want to go check out this particular handout, if you want to get a blank version of that chart, you can get that for free if you go to learnjazzstandards.com/set goals, okay? Check that out. That's a free handout completely for you. Now, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the Facebook page. Of course, make sure you join our jazz community. Go to learnjazzstandards.com/join and get on our newsletter. All right, I'll see you next time in the next video.